'tis time to finish up this binge I'm on with when we were young. When we were very young. And then I'm going to go to bed. But I love you so. Oh, it's gonna be such a nice night to just curl up. Curl up. I'm being real close. Hopefully if you can stay the night on the day I get home. I'm guaranteed to be like this at that point of night. Little punchy, little slippers. But I'll be adjusting my sleep schedule ahead of time, so we'll see. Now I just feel like talking about coming home. There are people in the conservatory across the street who have been playing Christmas carols in a trumpet band for the last hour and a half. And it's wonderful, but it's also homemaking. Leave me alone, whoever's on there. My goodness. Let's finish this book up. I love you dearly, Christy. Teddy bear. A bear, however hard he tries, grows tubby without exercise. A teddy bear is short and fat, which is not to be wondered at. He gets what exercise he can by falling off the ottoman, but generally seems to lack the energy to clamber back. Now, tubbiness is just a thing which gets a fellow wondering, and Teddy worried lots about the fact that he was rather stout. He thought if only I were thin, but how does anyone begin? He thought it isn't really fair to grudge my exercise and air. For many weeks he pressed in vain his nose against the window pane and envied those who walked about reducing their unwanted stout. None of the people he could see is quite, he said, as fat as me. Then with a still more moving sigh, he said, as fat as I. Now Teddy, as was only right, slept in the ottoman at night, and with him crowded in as well more animals than I can tell, but not only these, but books and things, such as the kind relations bring, old tales of once upon a time in history retold in a rhyme. One night it happened that he took a peep in an old picture book and came across, by chance, a picture of the King of France, a stoutish man, and down below these words, King Louis so-and-so, nicknamed the Handsome. There he sat, and think of it, that man was fat. Our bear rejoiced like anything to read about this famous king, nicknamed the Handsome. There he sat, and certainly that man was fat. Nicknamed the Handsome, not a doubt. The man was definitely stout. Why then a bear, for all his tub, might yet be named the Handsome Cub. Might yet be named, or did he mean the years ago he might have been? For now he felt a slight misgiving, if Louis so-and-so is still living. Fashions and beauty have a way of altering from day to day. If Handsome Louis is with us yet, unfortunately, I forget. Next morning, nose to the window pane, the doubt occurred to him again. One question hammered in his head, is he alive or is he dead? With nose to pane he pondered, but the lattice window loosely shut. Swung open, and one startled blow, our Teddy disappeared below. There happened to be passing by a plump man with a twinkling eye, who, seeing Teddy in the street, raised him politely to his feet, and murmured kindly in his ear soft words of comfort and of cheer. Well, well, allow me, not at all, tut-tut, a very nasty fall. Our Teddy answered not a word. It's doubtful that he even heard. Our bear could only look and look. A stout man in the picture book, that handsome king. Could this be he, the man of adiposity? Impossible, he thought, but still, no harm in asking. Yes, I will. Are you, he said, by any chance, His Majesty the King of France? The other answered, I am that, bowed stiffly and removed his hat. Then said, excuse me, with an air, is this Mr. Edward Bear? And Teddy, bending very low, replied politely, even so. And so beneath the window there, the king and Mr. Edward Bear, and handsome if a trifle fat, talked carelessly of this and that. And then His Majesty said, well, well, I must get on, and rang the bell. Your bear, I think, he smiled, good day. He turned and went upon his way. Our bear, however, hard he tries, grows chubby without exercise. Our bear is short and fat, which is not to be wondered at. But do you think it worries him to know that he is far from slim? No, just the other way around. He's proud of being short and stout. It's the other way about. He's proud of being short and stout. I like that one. Bad Sir Brian Botany. Sir Brian had a battle axe with great knobs upon it, and he went among the villagers and blipped them on the head. On Wednesday and Saturday, but mostly the latter day, he called the cottagers, and this is what he said. I am Sir Brian, tingling, I am Sir Brian, rat-tat. I am Sir Brian, as bold as a lion, and that, and that, and that. Sir Brian had a pair of boots with the great big spurs on, a fighting pair of which was particularly fond. On Tuesday and Friday, just to make the street look tidy, he'd collect the passing villagers and kick them in the pond. I am Sir Brian, Sir Splash. I am Sir Brian, Splosh. I am Sir Brian as bold as a lion. And is anyone else for a wash? Sir Brian woke one morning and couldn't find his battle axe. He walked into the village in his second pair of boots. He had gone 100 paces when the street was full of faces, and the villagers were running him with ironical salutes. You are Sir Brian indeed. You are Sir Brian, dear, dear. You are Sir Brian as bold as a lion. Delighted to meet you here. Sir Brian went a journey and found a lot of duckweed. They pulled him out and dried him, and blipped him on the head. They took him by his breeches and hurled him into ditches. And they pushed him under waterfalls. With this and that they said, You are Sir Brian, don't laugh. You are Sir Brian, don't cry. You are Sir Brian as bold as a lion. Sir Brian the lion, goodbye. Sir Brian struggled home again and chopped his battle axe. Sir Brian took his fighting boots and threw them in the fire. He has quite a different personality. He hasn't got his spurs on. He goes about the village as B. Botany, Esquire. I am Sir Brian. Oh no, I'm Sir Brian. Who's he? I haven't got any title. I'm Botany. Plain Mr. Botany B. In the fashion. A lion has a tail, and a very fine tail. And so has an elephant, and so has a whale. And so has a crocodile, and so has a quail. They've all got tails but me. If I had sixpence, I'd buy one. I'd say to the shopman, let me try one. I'd say to the elephant, this one is my one, and they'd all come around to see. And then I'd say to the lion, well, you've got a tail. And so has the elephant, and so has the whale, and look, there's a crocodile, he's got a tail. And you've all got tails, like me. The alchemist. There lives an old man on top of the street, and the end of his beard reaches down to his feet. And he's just the one person I'm looking to meet. I think it sounds exciting. He sounds exciting. For he talks all day to his tortoiseshell cat, and he asks about this and explains about that. And the nights he puts on his big wide awake hat, so as not to go to sleep, and sits in the writing room writing. He has worked all his life, and he's terribly old, as a wonderful spell in which says, Lo and behold, your nursery fender is gold, and it's gold, or tongs, or the tongs, or the rod for the curtain. But somehow he hasn't got a hold of it quite right, or the liquid you pour on it isn't first right. So that's why he works at it night after night till he knows that he can do it for certain. Grown up. I've got shoes with grown-up laces. I've got knickers and a pair of braces. I'm all ready to run some races. Who's coming with me? I've got a nice new pair of braces. I've got new shoes with new brown laces. I know a wonderful paddly place. Who's coming out with me? Every morning my new grace is, thank you God for my nice braces. I can tie my new brown laces. Who's coming out with me? If I were king. I often wish if I were king, and then I could do anything. I only wish I were king of Spain, and take off my hat in the rain. If only I were king of France, I wouldn't brush my hair for ants. I think if I were king of Greece, I'd push things off the mantelpiece. If I were king of Norway, I'd ask an elephant to stay. If I were king of Babylon, I'd leave my button gloves undone. If I were king of Timbuktu, I'd think of lovely things to do. If I were king of anything, I'd tell the soldiers, I'm the king. Vespers. Little boy kneels at the foot of his bed, droops his little hands on little gold head. Hush, hush, whisper, who dares? Christopher Robin is saying his prayers. God bless Mummy. I know that's right. Wasn't it fun in the bath tonight? The cold so cold, the hot so hot. Oh, God bless Daddy, I quite forgot. If I run my fingers a little bit more, I can see Nanny's dressing gown on the door. It's a beautiful blue, but it hasn't a hood. Oh God, bless Nanny and make her good. Mine has a hood as I lie on the bed, and I pull the hood right over my head. I shut my eyes, I curl up small, and nobody knows that I'm there at all. Oh, thank you God for a lovely day. And what was the other I had to say? I said bless Daddy, now what could it be? Oh, I remember. God bless me. Little boy kneels at the foot of his bed, it droops on the little hand's little gold head. Hush, hush, whisper who dares, Christopher Robin is saying his prayers. I love you, Christy. It was wonderful. Burning through these. And then we'll resume The Mouse and His Child at a nice point with some crows doing some play stuffs. I apologize for seeming slippers. I love you dearly, Christy. Sleep well, keep calm. Find a llama. Carry on. And I will talk to you in the morning. Or soon. Oh! Dogs, when they eat food in Icelandic. It was a little children's book. I opened it up. Dogs, when they eat food in Icelandic, say, and they voff, voff. I love you, Christy. Good night.